Hello, this is Dr. Mercola, and you know that 2 out of 3 of you watching this video struggle with weight issues, and 1 out of 3 are actually obese. Yes, obesity is endemic to our culture, and so much so it's even affecting our kids, and that's why I wrote a new book called Generation XL. But this video is not about that book. It's about a new and exciting weight loss product that I've just learned about that I want to share with you. But before I do that, I want to review some foundational basics that really is key to understand if you're going to embark on an effective weight loss program. And that boils down to the basics that we are all familiar with, and that is proper diet and exercise. However, many of us fail to appreciate some of the subtleties that are important to understand if you're going to effectively apply these modalities. And the first one relates to diet. Now, it's important to appreciate that we are all born with specific biochemical genetic tendencies that allow us to optimally respond to very specific diets. So the end result of that is that some people will respond very effectively to a low-fat, low-protein, high-carb diet, and that will actually help them lose weight. But conversely, another person given that same diet will respond terribly and actually gain weight quite dramatically. And they require a high-fat, high-protein, low-carb diet, and some people are in between. So it's understanding these principles will allow you to help select the right foods that will speed up and accelerate your weight loss. And the program that does that most effectively is something called metabolic typing. And if you want to know more about your metabolic type, I've compiled a free report. I've been working on it for the last few months. It's actually about 60 pages or so. We're in the final editing phases, and we hope to release it in very shortly. We've had about 75,000 people sign up for this free report in anticipation of it coming up. And if you haven't signed up yet, please go to the link right below here, and you can enter your name, and that will allow you to receive the free report when it's out. Now, additionally, of course, you're going to want to exercise. For the longest time, I was a strong proponent of aerobic exercise. I've been running for nearly 40 years, but gradually over the last few years, I've come to appreciate that weight training and high-intensity anaerobic training are very important principles and tools that are key to helping you build more muscle mass, and when you have more muscle mass, that will actually help you burn the fat more effectively. So once you have these principles down, then those are the foundational legs of a weight loss program. But many people understand this and are still unable to apply it, of course. So they rely on other modalities, and especially people who are morbidly obese. And what are those options? Well, some of them include things like gastric bypass surgery. Now, would that be something I would recommend? Absolutely not. And if you are unfamiliar with that, please read the link below here. But basically, why I don't recommend gastric bypass is that it can, for the most part, it can cause death. Yes, it can kill you. It can also lead to a variety of other complications, such as impairing your immune system, bone loss, and liver failure. All of things that you are clearly going to want to avoid. So, assuming that's not an option for you, then there are many pills that you can take, some of them prescription, which basically allow you to suppress your appetite, but in no way, shape, or form treat the underlying cause of the disease. And there are other over-the-counter approaches that you can take that have relied on central nervous stimulants like ephedra, which do allow you to lose weight, but not necessarily in the long run, because they just don't, again, really treat the underlying causes of the problem. But wouldn't it be nice to have something that could add as an adjunct to the foundational principles of exercise and the appropriate diet that could help speed up and accelerate your weight loss? Well, if you've been reading this newsletter for a while, you might recall that last year I posted some research that was published by some Japanese scientists that showed that brown seaweed actually was highly effective in producing weight loss in some animal studies. Now, brown seaweed has been used by Japanese and Chinese for centuries, and has actually been found to contain a compound that could help reduce the accumulation of fat and aid weight loss, which is interesting because most Asians, of course, do not appear to be overweight. Now, the exciting development that I wanted to share is that even though this research has been published, and I was initially excited about it last year, I put it on the shelf because the initial impression from those results it suggested that this would not be clinically and commercially available for 5 to 10 years, but there's been a breakthrough in the extraction process that actually allows them to take this active ingredient from brown seaweed, which is called fucoxanthin. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what they've called it, fucoxanthin, and they've been able to make this commercially available. And interestingly, this compound is a carotenoid, which means it's a precursor to vitamin A, and it actually is an antioxidant. But the reason why it's being used in this application is because it actually is a natural thermogenic. And what that means is that it's a whole food-based supplement that can actually help stimulate your body to use calories by burning white adipose tissue, which is exactly the type of fat that you want to lose when you're seeking to lose weight. Now, it's been documented in a number of clinical studies to be effective. It actually supports the metabolism and breakdown of fat by assisting your body to convert it into energy, which is called thermogenesis. Now, it's interesting that it's very convenient, and it's also a non-stimulant, so that when you take it, unlike caffeine or any of these other central nervous stimulants like ephedra, it does not make you jittery or cause sleeplessness, keep you up at night. So you can actually live a normal schedule. So it's an interesting new option that's been recently available, not readily available everywhere, but I just wanted to let you know about it. So clearly, if you are one of the 2 or 3 people watching this who are struggling with weight issues, then you're clearly going to want to understand your metabolic type and definitely get your free report below, so that you can know and understand what types of foods you require to help you lose weight. But then you want to certainly engage in an exercise program. But if you need something to help you accelerate your weight loss in addition to those 2 foundational principles, then you may want to consider fucoxanthin. So hopefully this is helpful if weight loss is an issue for you.